Hi, I'm Tyler Stroh. I'm a singer-songwriter from Richmond, Indiana.
And I'm Morgan Middendorf, and I'm a graphic designer.
Welcome to the Jellyfish Manifesto.
Peach blossom jellies are the only jellyfish found in the United States, freshwater jellyfish found in the United States. You can find them in the Ohio River, Tennessee River, Shawnee Park in Louisville, and Presque Isle State Park in Pennsylvania. Originally, they're from China, and they're pretty harmless to humans because they're smaller than a quarter. Fun fact.
Someone told us to keep our awkwardness on camera, so we're trying to do that.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just here.
I'm used to it, man. When I'm on stage, I mean, there's awkwardness in between songs, and I have a room full of people. It's just like, what in the hell is this guy doing? You know. So you just got to roll with it,
right? So what got you into music?
Oh man. Well, my dad was a musician. He played his whole life, and he wasn't really a great teacher. Like, my dad was one of those guys that was like, you know, he would watch me play and learn myself, and then when I did something wrong, he's like, no, give me that. This is how you do it. And hand it back to me. But no, I was kind of self-taught. My parents had me really young, so I was, you know, my early years, I was raised by teenage parents, and, you know, MTV was on all the time, and like I was like probably one of the few like 5-year-old Guns N' Roses fans around 1990, you know, and it just kind of grew from there. Like I've always kind of been an entertainer. Like all through school, I was the class clown, and I'd always get in trouble, and you know, not too bad, but you know, I was always doing goofy stuff, and still even at home, even if it was just me and her at home, I'm still like doing goofy stuff and trying to make her laugh and everything. And I go out, and you know, when I go do shows, like I tell little stories in between songs, and we just have a good time. I don't just go up there and just kind of hang my head low and just play songs like some guys do. Like I want everybody to have fun and get that energy going, and that's kind of my thing. I like thrive off of it. So
that's awesome. And what got you into graphic design?
I'm not really sure. I think it was more of like I took a class in high school, like multimedia class or whatever, and I think that's just kind of what got me into it. And I didn't really make that decision till like senior year of high school, like after graduation, like, look, I need to decide if I need to go to college or the workforce, but then I ended up going to college and taking classes there and stuff. So
that's awesome.
For 4 years. And
where'd you go to college at?
Wright State in Salina. So the
nice.
campus.
I've heard good things about them.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny when we met because her sister dragged her to one of my shows because I'm a rocker, you know. I play mostly
country.
Yeah, and she's country, so you know she heard me one time before, and she's like, "Oh, I don't really like this guy. He don't play my style of music." Well, her sister drug her out to one of my shows, and after the show, me and her got to talking a little bit, and I asked her what she did, and she goes, "Oh, I'm a graphic designer." And I was like, "Oh, that is so cool," because you know, as a musician, I'm constantly needing like advertisements made. You know, I do merch, I do T-shirts, so much with social media. So I'm like, graphic designer, that's awesome. She's like, you are literally the first person to ever get excited when I'm like, hey, I'm a graphic designer. So that's like where it all started, and she's been so instrumental in a lot of the things that I'm doing, like, you know, helping me, you know, because I'm not trying to put down any of my other musicians, but they're using these AI things and stuff, and I got my own graphic designers, so you know, I get on there and my ads always look like really kick-ass compared to everybody else's. Right. I'm like, I love this, you know.
Yeah, I don't like AI that much.
No, AI is like, I don't know if you guys ever talk about that much, but man, with both of our lines of work, because I mean, I'm a musician, I do this for a living now, and she does her graphic design, and AI is like trying to threaten both of our livelihoods, you know?
Yeah.
And I hate, like, especially like on Facebook, I have seen so many like fake musicians on there that are like these AI generated things, and it's like, I'm like, there's just no soul to it, you know?
Right.
You listen to it for about 5 seconds and be like, this ain't real. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We were just talking about how an editing program that I use, you can now put your voice into it and it can like read a script using your voice, and I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just weird.
The only time I use AI is really to make like fat heads because we're selling fat heads at my work, and like I'll only put it into AI just to generate that, and then that's it. But like, I just don't like it.
No. Well, a lot of artists like Ozzy that just passed away this last year. I mean, I've seen so many AI generated where, you know, him singing different songs
Yeah.
and
I mean,
stuff.
that is cool, but it's just
It's cool, but, you know, I still don't like it.
We use AI just a little bit, but
Give me 1 second.
Your microphone's a little off.
There we go.
okay.
You're good. I'm sorry. I clocked it. I was waiting for a pause. You're good.
I was like, I'm
You're
having
fine.
a good time. Okay.
You're fine.
Sorry, guys.
I'm happy you interrupted because I'm too awkward to do it. So.
we use AI a little bit, but I have kids going to school and I work a full-time factory job.
Yeah.
So like it helps pick up like the little areas where I can't. But like obviously, if we ever get big, like I'm replacing it with humans at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point.
Well,
So
there was something that was sent to me. I got an email about it. Some kind of it's through Google, like an AI generated thing. It's specifically for like musicians like me, and they'll go through and read my emails and respond to emails for me, like for gigs and stuff, and send out emails like to different prospective venues and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's cool, but I'm like, I just
Well,
I
you
can't
did
do
on
it.
Facebook or whatever, and it lists like where you're from, like what you do and everything, and then like you did me, and it was like,
Oh yeah. There's the AI on Google now, like an AI search, and like I found out more about myself than what I even knew. Just typing my name into Google AI. I was like, this is creepy, man.
yeah, that's crazy.
Like it's pulling stuff up, and I'm like, I don't even remember doing that.
I mean, it knew about one of your songs on your album. Before
Yeah,
it even was
yeah.
released.
It knew about a song on my album before it was even released, and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? You know?
yeah, that's creepy.
Oh yeah. So, but I went this last year because like I played music my whole life. I started playing when I was like 13, 14 years old, like actually hitting like little open mic nights and things like that. And I've been writing songs for over 20 years. And her and my best friend Megan, they both got together and they're like, you need to record an album. So I found a guy in Greenville, Ohio that owns DA Studios. His name's Luke Naley. And he and I, we never really had met. Like, we'd met in passing because we'd done, like, benefit concerts and stuff. And, you know, just the casual, hey, what's up?
Right.
But, you know, I went in there and started working with him. And it was really good, man. We knocked out a song or an album, 8 songs on the album. We knocked it out, what, 6, 7 months?
I think so.
I'm working on my second one there. And, you know, at first it was kind of awkward. Like I went in there and I hadn't recorded in a studio in probably 15, 20 years since I was in my early 20s. And we knocked that album out. And now we work together like seamlessly. I mean, it's just we go in there and it's like stuff.
He's like the little brother you never had.
Yeah, man. It's great. And we have a good time together. And, I released that back in January. It's still slowly picking up steam. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, but it's been fun. I left my day job in November and started doing this full time. And it's kind of scary, but it's been kind of fun. And the money's been, you know, decent. I'm not making any less than what I made when I was working a day job. I mean, I am because, you know, I had both incomes. Now I just got the one, but my music makes about the same as what I did when I was going to work every day. So I can't complain about that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been really cool. And you know, there's a lot of people out there that think you gotta like be a rock star or be like, you know, national tour or something to make a living off of this, and you don't. You know, you can make a very comfortable living just being a, you know, local musician.
Right. Especially if you're willing to do shows every day.
Oh yeah. Well, I usually do 1 or 2 a week. I'm just very selective about like where where I play, because there's like people that'll hit you up and they're like, oh, we can pay you $100. I'm like, I'm not coming out for
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I can't afford to do that. But I've done shows. I've played this year. I've played Cleveland, Ohio. I've played in Columbus, Ohio. I've done shows in Dayton, up in Salina. I've been down in Kentucky, in Florence, Kentucky, and Taylor Mill, Kentucky. I've been all over, East Central Indiana. So I mean, I'm getting around a little bit. So it's been fun.
Yeah. So when you're writing music, what's like your process?
Well, when I start out, like I'll come up with a good melody on my guitar, like something that I like on the guitar, like a chord progression or a little riff or something that kind of speaks to me. And my music always comes first, and the lyrics come second. Some guys are different, and they'll write lyrics first, and then write. I've never been able to do that because like the music kind of dictates to me what the lyrics are going to be. And I'll just sit there and like I'll play that riff over and over again until something starts to come in my head, and I'll start writing down. And usually I go through about 3 or 4 drafts before I finalize something, don't I? Because I'll write something, I'll be like, oh, this sounds really good. And I'll go like record it on my phone just so I have it. Like I'll put the phone there with the camera on and just record it so I can listen to it. And I'll kind of give it a day, and I'll go back and listen to it the next day. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that sucks. Or sometimes I'll listen to it and be like, wow, this is really good. And it's the ones that's, wow, this is really good. Like that I hold on to. But there have been some, I mean, there's even 1 or 2 songs I recorded on my album that now that I've listened to them several hundred times, I'm kind of burned out on them myself.
I'm sure that happens with like
it
major
happens.
bands.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of songs that a lot of big name bands. I mean, there's some of them that won't even play their hits because they're like, I am so burned out on that song.
And like I think Shinedown hated Second Chance for a while.
Yeah. They still because if you listen to them perform that song live, I mean, it's just dead.
Right.
As a musician, I'm like, there's major burnout there. I can see it because they go to sing it, and I mean, Brent Smith from Shinedown, the lead singer of Shinedown. I mean, he's like belting these songs out, and then you get the second chance. He's like, my eyes are open wide.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, he's so tired of that song.
which is sad too because it's such a great song.
It is a great song. I put it in my set, and like. It was an Old Schoolhouse. I can't remember her name at Old Schoolhouse, but she comes up to me and she goes, I just went and seen them like a month ago, and you sang that song better than he did. And I'm like, that's because I haven't sang it like 10,000 times.
Right.
He's just burned out.
Yeah. So what was like the first like instance of you guys working together, and how did that like play out?
I think it was probably within about 2 or 3 months of us like starting to talk and hang out and date a little bit and stuff. And I'm like, hey, I got like 3 or 4 gigs in the next couple weeks. Can you make me some ads for them? Because she seen the ones I was making myself, and she's like, these suck. She's like, these are terrible.
Honey, I love you, but those suck.
Yeah, she's like, these suck. She's like, if I see that, I wouldn't want to come see you because I'd be like, this guy don't know what he's doing. I'm like, well, I'm a musician. I'm not, So she did that, and then she got shanghaied into it from there on out. So
what was that like for you to make the ads for him compared to like the normal stuff you work on?
It wasn't too bad. You didn't have a difficult order. Let's just say that. It was pretty easy. Just like, hey, put my picture on there, put the location and where I'm playing and address and stuff. So
every once in a while, though, I'll give you a hard time. Be like, hey, this doesn't look cool enough.
And I can take criticism well. We had to learn that in college, so I'm used to it.
And like we're getting ready to work on some new merch for my stuff. Like we were talking about, because I go through a ton of koozies. Like everybody, when I play out, I got koozies on my little thing, and everybody wants to keep their drink cold. So hey, and then they're cheap. So we're working on a new one, and on one side it's going to have my little logo and say, acoustic rock and stuff. And on the other side, it's going to say I went and seen Tyler Stroh, and all I got was this damn koozie.
Well, we talked about getting like Hawaiian lace too for like our parties. And we were gonna get like a little medallion
Yeah.
on it and print on there.
Yeah, she wanted to do these lays for my CD release party and we didn't have them done in time. But she was going to have a thing on it that said, I got laid at a Tyler Stroh show.
I mean, I can still get them. Just
And that's the biggest thing, like with a lot of people that do music and stuff. And I don't know how many musicians you guys have talked to, but a lot of them take themselves way too seriously. And I just have fun with it. I'm like, man, everybody wants to come out and have a good time. Nobody wants somebody to be super serious or, because when you go out at night and you see a musician play and stuff, that's an escape from like the politics and the job and all the crap you got going on at home. That's supposed to be your escape and get out and have fun. So that's what I try to really promote is just having fun and having a good time instead of being too serious. I mean, I do have some serious songs I've written and stuff, but I like to have a lot of fun too. So
Yeah, I definitely know some musicians who take it way too far. And I did like photography and graphic design and stuff for like punk rock bands.
yeah,
Technically,
And-
March too.
Yeah,
You did some
yeah.
March, yeah.
And there's a lot more criticism when it's a whole band compared to one person.
oh yeah.
So like that was terrible. But I completely forget where I was going with that.
Oh, they sold a lot of like the bracelets and stuff because
Yeah.
that's super cheap. You can
Yeah.
get
Oh, yeah.
100 of them for not that much money. So, but with like the merch and everything, how important do you think visuals and branding are in music today?
Well, with online, I mean, people make up their mind when they look at you. I feel like before they even listen, and if they look at you, like I see a lot of guys go to play shows, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I'm like, if you're going to go out and be on a stage and be in front of people, and you're getting paid hundreds of dollars to come in and perform this show, you got to look the part and look professional. And I see guys that wear stuff like I would like be going out to mow my grass in, and I'm like, it's just people. It sucks, but people do judge by visuals a lot,
I mean, there
without.
was that one guy that was playing in basketball shorts and no shoes.
yeah. He had like pajama shorts on, like I'd wear to lounge around the house with no shoes and a shirt with holes in it. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Because I'm like, and the sad part was the guy was really good. But I'm like, people will look at you and make up their mind before they even hear you.
Right.
And it sucks because, I mean, if you look back at like the 60s and 70s, it was more about how you sounded. Like you look at like Janis Joplin, she wasn't no hottie, but man, she had that voice and people heard that before they even seen her. Nowadays, it seems like it's more about what you look like in the visual image, and the talent and the music comes second.
Yeah, for sure.
I've always told all them, I was like, man, if I was a really hot girl, I'd already have it made.
I say that all the time.
Unfortunately, women aren't like us. Like you see, like we see a hot girl, we're like, hey, I'm gonna watch that about 3 or 4 times. She'll see a good looking dude on there and she'll watch about half of it. Be like, yeah, he's cute. Okay, let's.
What's your process to like match each other's like styles when it comes like trying to figure out ads?
Well, it's kind of weird because like she said, she's more she likes like the country music and stuff, and I'm more of a rocker.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, sometimes I'll tell her, I'll be like, it looks too much like a country artist thing. I'm like, we got to rock it out a little bit more. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I do. Like the one when you played at Kentucky, you're like, oh, just change the colors. It looks too like their colors are like blue and orange, and I think it was like originally like yellow or something, and you're like, just change it to match the colors, and I did. So
Awesome. If you guys could create like a dream ad, Like, what would that look like?
Man, and I'm sure there's ways to do it nowadays, but like instead of having like just a plain ad, like have it like where it like has like a movement to it or something, you know. I don't know why this keeps popping in my head, but like the like in like Harry Potter when they had like the wanted posters and they
Yeah.
like move and stuff. That if we could start doing stuff like that, it'd be so cool.
I'll look into it.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Like, you know, like just me like playing my guitar like in a microphone or something. That'd be great.
I'm sure if you got like a thin screen, it would be possible.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you could figure
I mean,
something
you made
out.
that one video like where you were. So I don't know if you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
The dance scene. He kind of merged that onto with one of the songs. And it was so great.
Yeah, it's actually something I'm looking forward to because we have a minor league baseball team in Richmond, and John Heater is the owner of it. It's actually John Heater and the guy that played Uncle Rico and the guy that played Pedro. I can't remember those two actors' names, but yeah, those three guys actually bought our minor league team, so
That's
they're going
crazy.
to. Yeah, and I got reached out to by somebody from the team wanting me to come sing the national anthem. I'm like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to do that.
It's a lot of pressure with that.
Yeah, I'd probably forget the words or something. Look really stupid.
I was just telling my wife yesterday, for some reason, we picked a national anthem for the U.S. that's not easy to sing.
No.
It's crazy that we picked a difficult song for the national anthem.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You gotta have some chops. I mean,
Yeah.
I can do it, but I know that like I'm always afraid I'm gonna mess it up.
Well, you'll definitely sound better than Roseanne Barr. So.
Oh, that don't take much. Well, who's it? Fergie at the NBA All Star
Yeah.
game a few
Yeah.
years back. That was. That's all those ball players behind her laughing.
They were trying not to laugh.
They were
Some of
laughing.
them were trying to like keep it together, like do not
Oh,
laugh.
that was so funny. But you got to be willing to laugh at yourself too. Like,
Yeah.
just at my show yesterday, I'm sitting there singing a song, and I totally started singing the wrong words, and I stopped, and I was like, shit. Okay, we just kept on going. Everybody was like cracking up, you know. Because I don't get bent out of shape. Some guys
Right.
would get like really, and I remember. This is kind of a funny story. When I used to play with my dad, because me and him, we started with a band, and everybody started, you know, just falling off. The drummer quit, bass player quit, you know. Then it was just me and him, and we'd play out acoustic. And this is like 2010, 2011. But I would mess up, and when I would mess up, I would kind of give him a look and be like, so everybody thought that he messed up. So then when I figured it out, everybody started telling me about it after the show. They're like, man, like your dad was kind of off tonight. He messed up a couple of times, and it was actually me, but I just, you know, did that, you know. So I started, especially at smaller shows where it was mostly just our friends, I'd like screw up intentionally just to do that. And when he figured it out, he was so pissed off. It was great. But yeah, I always do silly stuff like that, just, you know, messing with people. And like, I have a buddy of mine named Jesse, and it's actually his birthday next weekend at my show. And he's kind of like this big, gruff truck driver with a big beard and wears bib overalls like a good old boy.
Like Uncle Jesse. From Dukes of
Yeah, like literally, that's what you think. And you know, he has this tough act and stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm on him. I love messing with that dude. Like he'll walk in, and he used to ask me, he'd be like, hey, did you learn that song? Yeah, I learned it for you, and I start playing like Britney Spears or something, you know. Like he did. He's like, hey, did you learn that song for me in a room full of people? I'm like, sure did. My loneliness is killing me. And he's like, no. But yeah, we always do stuff like that to mess with him. And I got a few of them that follow me that I really, you know, it's just we have a good time picking on each other and stuff. And that's like
awesome.
And that's a thing I said. You know, you can't take yourself too serious.
Right.
You know, I had this guy come up to me. I was playing a show in Brookville, Indiana, and dressed head to toe in pink, and he comes up to me and goes, I bet you don't know any Lady Gaga. And I said, I bet you I do. I started playing it, man. He went nuts. I got like a $20 tip.
Oh,
Dude's
yeah.
yeah. I was like, this is great. But I'll play anything except for Taylor Swift. I do have my limits. I won't learn Taylor Swift, but about anything else, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
I think
sadly
it's
went through a Taylor Swift phase. So.
yeah. Crazy. I listen to Taylor Swift if I'm like at a bar and really drunk. I'll put it on the jukebox because I know it upsets everybody.
They play her new song so much at my work, I'm over it. I'm
Yeah.
like, you just played this song 10 minutes ago. Why are we playing it again?
Oh, I have a buddy of mine that's a lawyer. He's about 15 years older than me. And we'll hang out. We'll be at B-Dubs hanging out. And all the young kids will come in there like, early 20s. And they're getting really, really loud and stuff. And we're like trying to talk. And they're being, like kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is B-Dubs. You guys go where the kids hang out. This is like where the middle-aged guys that are like trying to hide from our wives are like, congregating. So he'll put on this song. What's it called? Who's gonna feed them hogs? Some old bluegrass song, and he'll play it on repeat. And I mean, they will clear out quick, man. It's great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just silly stuff like that, man. We have a good time.
But no, I think it's important to make shows fun because you could be the best musician and your concert could be awful because it's just not fun.
Well, and that's another thing that a lot of musicians don't understand is like when you get hired by these bars and restaurants and little breweries and stuff to come in there and play, they're not paying you for how good you could be the best musician in the world, but if people aren't into it, it don't matter. They're paying you to keep people there, keep people having fun, and keep people spending money and drinking. That's your job. So that's what I got to remember. It's not how good. It's not whether I sing my best show or play every note perfect. It's me keeping everybody engaged, having fun, and spending money. That's my job.
Yeah. I mean, I've even seen like professional singers like Chris Stapleton and Eric Church, and all they did was just stand there and just play. And I'm like, this wasn't interesting to me. Like, you got to get the crowd involved. Like, you can't just stand there. I mean, people probably still like him, but that just kind of like turned me off from that. I'm like, I don't like when people just do that. And Chris Stapleton just got one flat key the whole time. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I remember I went and seen him with one of my ex-girlfriends. And but no, he it to me, and even as a musician, to me, it sounded like one long song. And I was like, she's like, oh, he's played 3 or 4 songs. And I'm like, it all sounded like one song. It all blended together to me. I didn't notice the difference.
But I have a friend that does or did shows for a while, and I've always been curious. So the beginning of a show, sometimes there's not a lot of people there. How do you keep the energy up until you get a crowd?
Well, I'll be honest. The very first start of a show is the worst part because like you got to get into your groove and stuff, and yeah, like you said, when you first start, usually you're starting for 5 or 10 people.
Usually
maybe.
just me.
Yeah, I've even had some shows I've started. She's been out there by herself, stared at me, and but once you get going, 15, 20 minutes, everybody's rolling in. But I got like 3 songs that are really good for my voice to kind of warm up on. So whether I got a room full of people or just her staring at me, I'll just do those same 3 songs to kind of get me going. And then after that, I see where the crowd's at and stuff. And I have a book. It's got about 250 songs in it that I take with me. No particular order. I know where they're at, but they're in the order that I learned them and stuck them in there. So, if somebody was trying to find a song in my book, they'd be lost. And I have a lot of the older guys like kind of tease me all the time because they're all going to like the iPads and stuff. But I'm like, man, I said, I know how I am with technology, and I go to a gig. And I said, I'd put that thing up there and the wind would knock my stand over. Some drunk would bump into me, knock it off and bust it. Or the battery would die or it would freeze up or something. Then I'm screwed. And I'm like, my book, I'm good. There ain't nothing going to happen to that book. I've been using it for 20 years.
Yeah,
But
I know. They use an iPad, I think. or they were using an iPad. They're not a band right now.
Well, see,
Yeah.
with mine, I keep the stand as low as it can go, and I kind of keep it off to the side from me because I know all the songs. It's just the lyrics. Every once in a while, I'll get tripped up on lyrics. Like if I'm having like an interaction with somebody or talking to somebody in the middle of a song, I'll get tripped up on lyrics. So it's good to have that book just to kind of glance at and get my place back and get back into it. And another funny thing is like virtually all the songs. There's a few that have a lot of chord changes and stuff that I have the chords on, but for the most part, it's just lyrics. Like I can remember every single note and every single lick in the songs and the music and stuff. It's just the lyrics that throw me off.
Right.
So, but yeah, I that's my only crutch in my show is I like to have my book right there just to kind of glance at every once in a while. And but if you look at a lot of the pros, like you ever see from the backstage angle, they got like the little screens where their monitors go. Because a lot of guys don't use monitors anymore; they use the in-ear. And the monitor you see in front of them is just a screen with the lyrics scrolling.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm like, because I seen a video. I'm a big Slash guy. I love Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
He shared a video of like from behind the stage, and Axl Rose had one of those scrolling. I'm like, man, he's been singing this song for 40 years. I'm like, how in the heck does he not know the lyrics by now?
Right. You would think it would be like imprinted in his
Yeah,
mind.
you think he could sing that song forward and backwards, But
Yeah.
Then again, all the drugs they were on back in
Oh,
the
that's-
early
that's
days.
And I think it depends how many songs you've released. Because I've seen musicians talking about the older music and they're like, I don't remember writing this song. I didn't know this was mine. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's tough to keep up with.
well, like you said, all the drugs they were
Yeah.
on, especially some of those 1970s singer songwriters and stuff. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Bob and Tom when they were,
Yeah.
and Bob just recently died, which was kind of sad.
Yeah.
But they had Joe Walsh on from the Eagles, and he was talking. He said he called up Ozzy Osbourne because he was cleaning out a closet in the studio, and he found this poster where he opened for Ozzy. So he called Ozzy, and he's like, dude, did we do a tour together? He's like, I don't think so. And he's like, I got the poster. We must have done it. And he's like, man, that would have been awesome. Neither one of them even remembered it.
That's
and they did
crazy.
they did like a little Midwest tour together. Did like 20 something shows together on this leg of this tour. Neither one of them remembered anything about it. I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, with the drug thing, one of my favorite stories is like, I like books. Stephen King, I think it's Cujo. He said he woke up one day, Cujo was a #1 bestseller. He didn't remember writing the book. He woke up and he had done so much cocaine at the time. He's like, I woke up, this book is selling incredibly well. And I'm like, did I write that? Because he was,
Stephen King. I used to read a lot of Stephen
Yeah.
King back in the day.
yeah.
Oh, with how fast he comes up with stories and
It's crazy.
releases like thick books.
He said he writes like a couple chapters a day. Like his output is insane, but he was writing faster than that when he was on cocaine. he was pumping out books.
It's kind of fun, and by no means am I promoting drug use or anything, but like Stone Temple Pilots, I don't know how familiar you guys
Yeah.
are with them. They were like on drugs all through the 90s. Their lyrics made no sense at all, but their songs
They're
were
so
great.
good.
And then they had that one album where they all got completely sober and they did this album. It was in the early 2000s. That was the worst album they ever did. Like I listened to it, not a single song like had that, where it like had that hook to like get you. It's
Yeah.
like I was like, man, it's just I'm not feeling this.
Then Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're actually gonna be seeing Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
month.
We're
Oh,
going-
really?
Yeah. I'm
That's
going to
awesome.
They're on
going to-
tour with Dorothy. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
Dorothy
No.
and Godsmack. Oh yeah, Dorothy's cool, man. You guys.
I
gotta
have
check
Check
to-
her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got like a rocker crush on her, man. She's like this badass rocker chick, and she just goes out and kills it.
I mean, she's pretty other than the neck tattoo, but
Yeah, I'll have to listen
I mean,
to
I
it.
like tattoos, just not when it's like on your neck.
I don't know. I want a neck tattoo. I do. I really want a neck tattoo.
So I mean, that just kind of brought her prettiness down, It's like,
Right.
I know my brother used to go to I think it was X Fest when they were still doing that.
Yeah.
And he said that the guitarist for I think it's Sick Puppies is just incredibly attractive. It's just an incredibly attractive woman. He's like, I just didn't expect this.
Or oh man, what is Evanescence? Amy Lee for Evanescence, man. Back when I was in high school, man, she was the chick, man.
Yeah, I still love Evanescence.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's mostly her voice that.
Oh man,
stands out.
she's got an amazing voice.
Mina Strauss too, with
Guitar.
Alice Cooper.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. We went to because I took her to an Alice Cooper concert. She's like, I ain't gonna like this. I ain't gonna like this. We left, and she's like, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen in
I
my
heard
life.
he puts on a hell of a show.
He does.
Oh yeah,
We were actually
Dude's
gonna go this year.
78 years old, and he still rocks harder and puts on more theatrics and does more than a lot of the popular guys now between in their 20s, 30s, or 40s. I mean,
Yeah.
they couldn't keep up with him.
Well, with me
It's-
being into country, I was surprised with how many songs of his I knew.
yeah,
I think I knew 3 or 4,
Oh, you
maybe
knew than
more.
that. Yeah,
I was like, hey, he sings this song,
I was telling the last musician that we had on that the best show I've ever been to was Whitesnake. And those guys
yeah.
are old, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
the most high energy concert I've ever seen. Like they crushed it.
the one that really surprised me was I went and seen Collective Soul a few years back. They do like Shine in December and all. Yeah, and I mean they were on tour with Three Doors Down, which I hate to say anything bad about them since their lead singer just passed away, but like they were alternating who opened and closed the show, and I mean Collective Soul went out and they were all over that stage. They were into it and interacting with the crowd, and I mean it was awesome. And then Three Doors Down comes out, and those guys had no energy or no life to them. I mean everybody just stood where they stood and just like played the songs like they were just just getting through it, and people were actually leaving. And I'm like, I think they kind of, messed up on this one. I'm like, I don't know if they were having an off night or what, but they should have been like, hey, let us open the show tonight. We don't want to follow you guys.
Right. I feel like with how expensive ticket prices are, like you owe more than just standing in the one spot. And
Absolutely. And it's another thing that really gets me. Like, I have a friend of mine that's a big Motley Crue fan. And like, I don't know if you guys have seen Vince Neil from Motley Crue try to sing live. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. It is hilarious. And I get so irritated. I'm like, you're a professional entertainer. You're a musician, but you're an entertainer, and you're charging people ridiculous prices. I'm like, dude, lose some weight, get your ass back in shape so you could sing these songs the way they're supposed to. Instead of going out there and just falling all over yourself on the stage and making a fool of yourself, really,
Right.
Because I would be pissed if I paid like big money for Motley Crue tickets and they come out and put on a halfway show,
Yeah.
It would just make me really, really upset. Because it's like even at the level that I'm at, I still like. She knows before my shows I got a regimen. I got that's called vocal mist. Like a little nebulizer treatment to kind of lubricate your vocals. And I take that, and I don't drink any like milk or anything acidic or pop. I drink straight water before the show, and mindful of what I eat and everything. And it makes a massive difference. I mean, people wouldn't think it does, but when her and the girl that helps Megan, she's my best friend. She helps me tremendously with my music too. And when those two started getting on me and like getting me on it, they're like, hey, you need to do this and you do this. My voice got so much better. and even just in the last few months, it's drastically improved.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's one of the things. And then like you were talking about like doing a lot of shows. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not doing shows back to back. So when I'm playing a show, I can go all out, and I know I have at least one day in between to recover. So I'm not sitting there holding back on a show like, I got to sing tomorrow night, so I better not sing this one because it takes a lot out of it. No, it's like, let's just do this. And ideally, what I'd like to do is get to where I can do just one show a week and promote that way. I can promote the hell out of it. I can have myself in tip top shape, and I can put all my energy into making sure I got all my followers there and stuff. Because a lot of guys don't think about this, but like I have a friend of mine that played in the Dayton area, and he was playing 3 or 4 nights a week, all in the Dayton area. And I'm like, dude, you're just taking your crowd and splitting it up. Because I'm like, I don't care. I said they can have Guns N' Roses playing in Richmond, where I'm from, 3 or 4 days a week. I ain't gonna go watch them 3 or 4 days a week. I might go once a month, maybe twice. But I'm like, eventually you're gonna get burned out. And I also do that with like my venues too, because I had a venue when I was first starting. They wanted me every other week, twice a month. I'm like, all right, that sounds cool. By the end of that year, I was so burned out on them and their food and stuff. And they were burned out. They've heard me sing everything I sing. And like, we still liked each other, but it was like, okay, let's take a break.
Right.
So I've got a rule now that like for some of my hometown gigs and stuff, I won't play a place more than once a month. Because I feel like if you do more than that, people get burned out on you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've seen all his tricks and heard all his stories and all his stuff he does, and I'm just kind of burned out,
I think when the places go to book people and they're more focused on hoping like different crowds come in from bar hopping and stuff, and they forget to realize that they're the ones that have to listen to you every single time.
Oh, yeah.
know?
Absolutely. And, it's like when I played that gig yesterday, and there's these party buses coming. Because, like I said, there's about 10 people that stayed the whole time. Then I'd have like a party bus of 50 or 60 people show up. And I'd play for them for about 45 minutes. Then they'd leave. And 10 minutes later, here's another 45 to 60 people that brand new that haven't heard anything I played. So there's a few songs. I played the same song like 2 or 3 times yesterday. And it's because, it's one of the best in my set list. And I'm like, a majority of this crowd hasn't heard me sing it, so I'm going to do it again.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah. I had something. So what's like the hardest part about being an independent artist right now?
Oh, man. There's a lot. A lot of people are misguided by like thinking that you have to get signed and stuff. There's a guy I know named Tuck Smith, and he's a pretty prominent musician in the Midwest, and he actually got signed and did a record with Rob Cavallo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's produced like Green Day and I mean all kinds of major artists. But like he was the guy that did American Idiot album with Green Day. He Shine Down, Sound of Madness. That was Rob Cavallo produced that. So Tuck got signed and he did this album with Rob Cavallo, and then he was supposed to be the opening act for the Motley Crue stadium tour. and he's a younger guy. He's about my age. And so he was kind of like one of those up and comers, keep rock and roll alive type deals and stuff. And COVID hit. And they told him because he was signed to this record label, you can't do nothing. He couldn't go out. He couldn't play his own songs on social media or anything. He couldn't play any shows out and about because he was signed to this. So basically, he's just sitting on this album, waiting on this tour to go. No income coming in because he's a career musician. That's what he does. And he's like, this sucks.
Right.
And eventually what ended up happening is he got a lawyer and he got out of the contract. And that album is just sitting there because that record company owns that album, and he can't even. Yeah, and I mean, there's like Eddie Trunk and some big name guys that listen to it, and they're like, man, this is the best rock album we've heard in years, and it's just sitting there collecting dust for the last 6 years, and he went independent, and he's had a lot more success independent, and that's one of the things that he told me because I went to Pittsburgh and seen him play, and. He was the last act. And then after the show, I went over to his merch table and we're sitting there talking music for about half an hour. And he's like, that's one of the things, man. He said, whatever happens with your music and stuff. He said he told me two big things. He said, let it do what it does, and don't try to push it too hard or expect too much out of it. He said sometimes the song will sit there for a year, and all of a sudden the right person will hear it and share it, and it just blows up. You know, he said just kind of put your music out there and let it do what it does. He said the second thing, he's like, if somebody comes around, he said, don't sign that dotted line till you have a lawyer really look over it. And I was like, my best friend's a lawyer. He's like, well, you're set, man.
Yeah, there is a band that I'm into. Their first album had a song that was like one of the lower songs on it. 2 albums later, that song like re-popped up and got famous.
Yeah.
To the point where like they're like, we have to make a music video now for this song. Like it's a big song now. So they like re-added it to their set list and everything. But they like were for sure it was like just one of those songs that people weren't going to pay that much attention to.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of songs like even with Guns N' Roses' "Sweet Child of Mine," they never thought it would do what it did.
Right.
Yeah, it ended up being their biggest song, and they're like, and like Kiss with the song "Beth," that was their biggest hit ever, and they didn't think it would do anything. They're like,
That's my grandma's favorite song by Kiss.
That's my favorite song.
Yeah, yeah, and those guys are like, oh, this is so not our style or anything, you know, and the drummer's singing it and stuff, so they're like, yeah, you know. But yeah,
what's that movie with Kevin James where he goes into the elevator with the mini Kiss band?
oh,
He's like, did you guys play Beth?
I
I
don't
can't
know
think of the movie, but that's such a prominent scene in my mind.
I remember when I was in high school and they the Detroit Rock City movie that had that Edward Furlong that was in Terminator 2 in it. I think it was like the last movie he ever did. I haven't seen that dude around forever.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think one of my favorite stories is Nickelback did Rockstar as a joke.
Oh yeah,
Because they were like, oh, this is an awful song. And then they release it, and it's probably the most popular song, and I guess they hate that. Because,
well,
yeah.
Toby Keith with Red Solo
Yeah,
Cup.
just
That was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a joke because they were talking about that and how he was like he was making a joke in the studio and he was drinking something out. He's like, I could write a song about this damn cup, and make it a hit. And he did, you know. It was just a total joke.
Such a good song.
Yeah,
too.
he just talking about how, you know, there's not a lot of I don't know, like people aren't looking for a lot of depth in songs. It's just goofy, funny songs, man. That,
Yeah.
you know, you might think like, man, this is stupid. Nobody's gonna like this, and you put it out, and people love it. You know.
I think a lot of the comedy country songs just do really well, too, though. Because Brad Paisley had that one about beer years ago. I don't remember the name of it.
Well, I actually on my upcoming album, we're working in the studio on it right now. I have a song on there called "Generic Country Song," pretty much about nothing, except for how lame country music is and how every song's about drinking beer. I mean, that's basically the. Look at that! Look. She don't like that one. Everybody else that hears is like, dude, this is great.
I mean, there definitely is like a lot of recurring themes in country music, but then you do have like the songs that really do stick out, like Red Solo Cup and
Brad Paisley has Penguin, James Penguin. It's a Christmas song. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's about how Santa Claus has a secret agent penguin that keeps track of kids for him. It's a crazy song, but I love it.
Now I do respect the hell out of Brad Paisley because he is a incredible guitar
Oh,
player.
it's insane.
That dude,
Yeah.
that dude's a picker, man. I have a lot of respect for him because he's a great musician.
yeah.
He wrote an autobiography called Diary of a Player, and it's about him being a guitar player. And I guess he took a guitar class in college because he's like, I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. His grandpa taught him, and he almost failed the guitar class. And his parents are teachers, and they were getting on to him about it. He's like, well, I never showed up to class because I know how to play the guitar. And they're like, you have to go to your classes. We're paying money for you to be in college.
See, I went to IU. I was a music major. I never finished my degree. Like I got about halfway through it. I was like, okay, this ain't for me. But I had a guitar class because it was like, yeah, you had to take all the music classes. And I'm like, I've been playing guitar since I was a kid, man. So I'm in there immediately. The guy teaching the thing, he's like, yeah, he's like, well, I'll just have you, help student teach some of the other people in the class. And that's when I realized I was going to school for the wrong thing. I did not want to be a music teacher when I started going through that. And it's funny because Luke, my producer, he in addition to doing the music studio, he gives lessons, that's his primary income is off of lessons more so than actually producing people. And I'll show up, and I'll be honest, I don't know how he does it, because sometimes I'll show up when he's doing a lesson, and I'm sitting there waiting for him to be done so we start working in the studio. And like some of these kids, man, they're so disrespectful and they just don't care. And you tell like their parents. And I'm like, man, you're getting paid to be a babysitter more than actually teach them something. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I used to give lessons, but it's tough.
Do you guys think that both of you being creatives helps you like individually with your work and stuff?
Sometimes it's kind of weird because we're creative in different ways. So, like if I'm into a project and she's into a project, sometimes it's like trying to pull me away from what I'm doing or pull her away from what she's doing is like, you get so engrossed in your own thing.
Right.
Sometimes it's better just to wait till you're done with it and be like, what do you think of this? Because like we've had times where she's working on something, she's got her laptop out, and I'm down because I have a studio in our basement. I'm down there working on a song, and she's so engrossed in what she's doing. If I call her down there to be like, hey, listen to this, she's like halfway listening, thinking about what she's doing on her project, But no, we do good, and she don't have quite the sense of humor that I do. So sometimes, like, I'll come up with something, and she's be like, "No, that's too goofy. People won't like it." I'm like, "They're gonna love it. Just trust me, they're gonna love it."
I'm just like, okay.
Have I been wrong yet?
No.
Yeah, we had these shirts I made. This is long before me and you got together. I think you were still in high school when I did these, but I had somebody up in Mercer County, Ohio, up around Salina area, hire me to do a private party, and I was playing all the places on the lake, and everybody knew me pretty well up there. And they put on the little Facebook invite. They're like, "Oh, we got Tyler Stroh playing." Somebody gets on there and goes, "Who the hell is Tyler Stroh?" I thought that was hilarious. So we actually had T-shirts made that we took to this party with us. And like they're still popping up, aren't they? Like I sold a ton of those.
Like
and
Jesse
people,
still wears
yeah,
those.
people would come to see me play and have these T-shirts that says, "Who the hell is Tyler Stroh?" And people bought tons of those, man. I was like, I was so stupid.
That's awesome. Bro.
Yeah, but it's just like I said, a lot of people wouldn't do that because they got too much pride. They're like, "Oh, I'm been playing for 10 years. I've been doing this, and I play all the places on the lake, and everybody should." No, everybody's not going to know who you are. That's actually great marketing. Like any band, make a shirt that says "Who the hell is," and then band name right there, because that's a conversation starter. Somebody see you at the store like, "Who the hell is that?" "Oh, it's this really cool band. Check them out." It's just little things like that.
Yeah.
I've seen people make like T-shirts and stuff of a bad review of their album. It's like somebody just being really mean about their album, and they just make it into merch.
Oh yeah, I had somebody leave a post on Facebook. We were all laughing about it, and she goes, "Didn't sound as good as you usually do. You should use your real voice." I'm like, "What the hell does that mean?" I think I was a little bit under the weather and kind of congested that night. And she's like, "Use your real voice." And I'm like, "Man, I left it at home. I'm sorry." I'll try to remember. I don't leave that fake voice at the house. I don't get it.
Yeah. Do you have a song that you love that you've written that just hasn't gotten the traction you thought it would get?
I have several. I have a song called "Coming Home to You" that I wrote after a really bad day at work when I still had my day job. It's really good. It's kind of like I don't know. It's almost like a singer songwriter 1970s, or even with a minor bit of a country feel to it. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And then I have a song called "Tattoo" that I wrote back when I was in college. I dated this girl all through high school and into college, and me when I was younger in college, I did a lot of stupid stuff, and then we ended up breaking up. And I've written a lot of songs about that because honestly, I did that girl. I didn't do very good by her, and I regret now that I'm older and I got more sense. I really regret that. But yeah, I have that song. My song "Smile," which is a ballad I wrote. All the girls like it, but it's just it's so weird because like when I went through a music distributor to put all my songs out there, so I'm on over 150 different streaming platforms. So I look at one stream, like I look at Spotify, and it's like your songs had 400 plays this month. I'm like, well, that's not that much. But then you look at Pandora and iTunes and Amazon and YouTube, and it's like, oh wow, okay, I guess I did do pretty good, And then there's these other ones that like I've never heard of. I have no idea what they are. There's one that's like overseas. I don't. What was it like? The Netherlands or something. Mm-hmm. Like I released a song on there, and I had like 500 plays in the first week in the Netherlands. I'm like, oh, I don't know nothing about that, but okay,
Right.
But the funny thing is the one I've had the least amount of plays on is YouTube. But YouTube gives me the biggest royalty check. I got a whopping $9 royalty check from YouTube 1 month,
Jeez.
and I had like 1/10 of the amount of plays I had on Spotify.
Yeah,
Which-
Spotify's famous for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, I think I get like it's like 3 or 4 cents a play, and on Spotify I think it's like a quarter of a cent per play. Like I gotta have somebody play my whole album through, and I'll make like 2 cents.
That's ridiculous, though.
Yeah, it's and I know what they charge. They charge the membership, and then they got the commercials if you're not signed up. I'm like, they're making their money, man. It's like, come on, if YouTube can afford to take care of people better, then they could too.
Right.
Yeah.
But like rock is so like it's still like based in country. So having songs that have a country feel is like like within the category still.
Oh yeah, well, country and rock both kind of come from the blues.
Yeah.
When Little Richard and Elvis Presley and all them were coming up. I mean, they all, and even like old like Hank Williams and stuff, and some of Willie Nelson's. It all was. I think all of it was derived from the blues, and they all kind of went different directions with it. But I mean, a lot of people say rock is dead. Well, you look at the concerts and stuff going out. Rock is still. It still is, even if not maybe slightly outselling. The country concerts going on right now. It's like rock's not dead. Just the media won't push it. Like
Right.
radio
Like
station.
I think Shinedown just had like the top selling song of all the genres like possible.
Yeah, it's like there's still a high demand for rock. It's just nobody, nobody wants to push it, and a lot of these kids, when you talk to a kid, they don't say, "Oh, I want to be a country star. I want to be a rock star." That's the thing, And it's like nothing. It's nothing against that. It's just I don't understand it. Like there's hardly any good. Because when I'm on the road and I'm going up to like Cleveland, I'm like, scanning for like a good rock station, or even on like Sirius Radio or something. They got like this many rock stations, this many country stations. And I'm like, what the heck is going on, man?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like some of the old rock stations turned into like pop stations.
Yeah.
Or
It's
rap
just-
stations,
Yeah. It
Yeah.
didn't-
And honestly, I mean, because I'm not sure how old you guys are, but I know you're not too far off from me. I'm 41. But like you remember, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, they were pushing rap down our throats like crazy, and country and rock and everything. Rap's I mean, I'm trying to think of a big, like I know there's like R&B and like poppy stuff, but like when was the last time you heard like a big name rap song come out? You know, I mean, I can't.
Unless it's Eminem, really.
Yeah, yeah, unless it's Eminem or you know one of the old school guys doing something. You
Yeah.
know,
I
like,
don't know. I think it depends because like Kendrick Lamar had that album last year that did insanely well. I'm a rap fan. Like,
Okay.
So like there's a few really big names in rap music that are like newer names, but they just don't get as much push as they used to.
just like the rock music.
Yeah.
You know, right now everybody's pushing pop and country. That's what
Yeah.
for some reason the media picks and chooses what it does. And
Yeah.
The
that's what
early
they-
2000s was insane for rap music because there was Lil Wayne, Eminem, Jay-Z, Kanye West. They were all being pushed.
Yeah.
And then it's just died down a little bit.
And you know it's still in the 2000s. We still had a lot of good rock music coming out because that's when like
Dad rock.
like yeah. Well, you know, like we talked about Evanescence. That's when they come out. You had Linkin Park. You had
Yeah.
Buck Cherry. You had Nickelback come out. Creed was still halfway hanging around. You know, but yeah, there's still a lot of good rock in the 2000s coming out. And then after like 2009, 10, it just. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I
People
think
really
they started
don't-
focusing on screamo at that point, which
Yeah.
is my cutoff. But
Yeah, people really don't respect Nickelback enough. They were fine.
Honestly, they're one of the biggest
Yeah.
American rock bands of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You know,
They actually just released a new song.
yeah.
and people just don't give them the credit they're due. I don't think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I think Chad said like, "Hey, we could not release any music, just do like top song tours, and we would still sell it every out." Every I'm like, yeah, like you guys are fantastic.
Yeah, the
You
issue
know?
is people are lying about it because everybody's like, "Oh, Nickelback sucks," but they're listening to Nickelback. You know?
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell you the one that gets the most disrespect as far as like traditional rock bands. And everybody always talks about the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, it's the Beatles, Rolling Stones." Beatles had a 5-year career. They've been the Stones. They're still playing, releasing songs, but I mean, they haven't had like a big hit since the 70s. Look at Aerosmith. They had like a top 10 hit in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then just 6 months ago they released that song with what the heck's his name?
Youngblood?
Youngblood, yeah.
Yeah.
They had another top 10 hit with Youngblood. And I'm like, these guys have a 60-year career where they're releasing, top 10 hits.
I think
And people just don't talk about them that much. I'm like, that's incredible.
I think it's because like Steven Tyler is like really open to just like experimenting and trying different sounds, and because like he even went country for a little bit too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
and he's one that actually, he got off the drugs
yeah,
years ago, and he's made a conscious effort. I mean, he's thin as all get out, but he's kept himself in shape. Him and like Mick Jagger, those guys. That's like what I was talking about earlier with keeping yourself in shape and doing what you got to do to be able to go out and entertain at the level people
Yeah.
want you to.
yeah.
like if you look at like Brian Johnson from AC/DC, old as crap, but like he still has biceps.
Yeah, dude
You
still
know?
goes out there and he does the absolute best he can. It's of course, what gets me is some of these people expect these guys in their 60s and 70s to go out and sound like they did in their 20s. I'm like, that's just
Right.
not humanly possible.
Like people are complaining like they slowed down Thunderstruck because Angus can't play that fast anymore. But like they're still doing it, so like they're doing better than you are because
Yeah.
you're not doing it. Like
Yeah, it's really hard to watch, like, because that's one of my things. Because like as a big Guns N' Roses fan, Axl Rose is like 65 going on 66. I'm like, he ain't got it like he did at all. He has his nights where he's good, and he has his nights where he sounds really bad. And I'm like, do I really want to go pay and see? Because like part of me is like, I want to go see just for the nostalgia of it. But at the same time, it's kind of sad to see these guys getting older and struggling to do some of the things they
Right.
used to do.
Yeah, the only time I've understood like the lower energy concerts is there's a jazz musician that I cannot remember the name of, and he's like 95, and he does like 2-hour concerts, but he sits in a chair the entire time. because he's 95 years old. Like, he can't move around.
No, and
But I mean, he's singing for 2 hours.
that's actually I was watching an interview because we were talking about Guns N' Roses, and she actually bought me the book for this guy, and Axl Rose's lawyers are fighting to keep it from being released. So maybe it'll show up someday.
Yeah, because it keeps pushing the delivery date back, and I'm like,
But his old manager, I was watching an interview with him, and he said at this point in their career, he's like, I would almost tell them to be an acoustic act. Like Guns N' Roses go out and play these really nice theaters and play their stuff acoustic and a little bit more broke down, because he's like, I think people would enjoy that. And seeing the songs broke down a little bit and played a little bit something more appropriate for the age they are now than to see these guys in their mid 60s trying to rock out like they did in their 20s.
like
you
November
know?
Rain. November Rain's kind of like an acoustic.
Yeah. And I think that would sound really cool if they would actually, do something like that. I mean, even me, since I've been doing acoustic so long, it would kick my ass to try to go up in front of rock band for 2 hours. I ain't conditioned for it,
Right.
I've been sitting on a bar stool doing my acoustic thing way too long.
Well, like they could easily take "Sweet Child of Mine" and make it an acoustic
Oh
song.
yeah. I do an acoustic version. It's
Yeah.
there's a ton of their catalog they could do like that.
I'm a big fan of when artists take either like their song or someone else's song and they go through and like reinvent the song and
Oh, yeah.
how it sounds and everything. Especially like when it's a cover, because it's like it wasn't your song to begin with. And if you liked it, but like you're hearing it a different way from what the original band made it, so why wouldn't you change it up a little bit?
And
you
that's
know?
that's something too that a lot of people I've gotten some good feedback on is when I play a cover song, I make it totally my own. I don't pay any attention to what key. I don't even pay attention to what key it's in. I sing it in the key that's good for me,
Right.
and I make it my own. And there's so many guys that I've like played with in the past and stuff, and they're so caught up with like singing it note for note and playing it note for. I'm like, people don't want to. People want to hear your interpretation of a song.
Yeah.
If they wanted to hear that, they just hire a DJ or something, or listen to it on their headphones or whatever.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I always try to do is like make my own version. And Morgan actually made me feel really good on a few of these because she'll like hear the original of a song that she didn't know, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's the real version of that song." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Your version's so much better," because I kind of changed it up. What song was it? The last one that you? I think it was Angie by the Rolling Stones.
Either that one or Danny's song.
Oh, Danny's song. That's an old 1970. I don't know if you guys. People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one.
I don't think I've ever heard
it's
that
an old
one.
it's an old song, but I play for a lot of older crowd because it seems like it's mainly the 35 plus crowd that's into going to listen to live music now, more so than every once in a while I pull a few younger kids in there, but yeah, I like to cater to the older crowd a little bit because they're the ones that mostly come see me, and like I said, I just hear the song and I'll listen to it about 2 or 3 times if I'm not real familiar with it, just so I get the gist of it. Then I'm like, all right, give me the lyrics and stuff, and let me sit here and learn this. Because if I focus too much on the original, it's hard to make it your own,
Right.
So,
Is there anything you guys would say to someone who would want to get into graphic design or music?
I'll let you go first.
Graphic design, I would just say, because like what I learned when I was in college is you have to be able to take constructive criticism. Like if you're not going to be able to take criticism well, then, because like we had to go up in front of class and show like all of our work and stuff. And I think that's kind of like the main thing. And you could be a creative person. Like I know a girl that was in my class who's a graphic designer and she didn't take criticism well. And she just works basically in like the production part, she don't design or anything. So I just feel like you got to be able to take criticism well from people.
As far as being a musician, man, like I said earlier, don't take yourself too seriously. And then all these people that think that you have to be, a famous like national level rock star to make a living. There's tens of thousands of career musicians out there that nobody's ever heard of, and we're making a very comfortable living doing what we love to do. So you don't have to aspire to be this crazy level and think that's what it takes, because it doesn't. And then just practice, because it's like I see a lot of guys playing out that, God love them, I don't think that they're ready yet. and they're trying to play out. And I'm like, if you're not extremely competent on a guitar and singing where you can literally do it without even thinking about it, because I'll be up there and I'm focusing on, this group over here, and I see them singing along, so I'm trying to engage with them, and then over here. And if I didn't know what I'm doing forwards and backwards, I wouldn't be able to do that. And then it makes for, nobody wants to see somebody and go watch them play, and they're doing this the whole time, watching their, fingers do the stuff. So it's like practice, and get really, really, really good. And I know that kind of contradicts what I said earlier about, people don't care, how good you are. It's more about how entertaining you are. But you can't be really entertaining unless you're very competent in your craft, and you can go up there with some you have to walk that fine line too, because I see a lot of people that try to come off as confident and they come off more arrogant. And you got to kind of be confident and, let everybody know, hey, man, we're going to have fun. It's going to be a good time, without being like pompous and arrogant about it. That's really tough to do sometimes. But, and if I get out of control, her and Megan, they always rein me in. They're like, dude, they're like, you kind of sound like a jerk right now. I was like, sorry.
It's good to have that support, though.
Oh yeah, but there's a high demand for that. I mean, live music is not dying. Everybody has live. I think live music's a lot more fun and engaging, especially than like a DJ or karaoke or something. I mean, I like karaoke, but unless you're drinking very heavily. After about 30, 40 minutes of listening to people that can't sing try to sing, it's like, all right, man, I'm out. We got to go do something else. But no, it's a lot of fun, and I love what I do, and I feel like I'm doing what I was meant to do. And like I said, my job as a musician, I don't feel like it's just to create music and play music, but just to entertain people and make them feel good. And I don't turn away anybody that comes to like my shows and stuff. I have the most eclectic, weird group of friends you'd ever see. Because I got one woman that follows me, and she's in her 60s, and like she talks about all the grandmother problems she has. And I got my one buddy that's a truck driver. I got a buddy that's a lawyer. I got a buddy that teaches. I'm like, I got a guy that follows me that works at the gas station there in town, and he's becoming a really big supporter and stuff. And I'm like, I don't turn anybody away, no matter, because it's like, I feel like a lot of the people that follow me and are people that got rejected by other groups, and I'm like I take them in with open arms. I'm like, I like the people that are a little bit weird and eccentric like me, because it's important for everybody to kind of have like a group. And I tell people, like, I hear musicians that are like, oh, I got so many followers and I got this, and I'm like, no, I got friends. Because like, I was playing my show yesterday and I got like 4 or 5 big old hugs and stuff. People like, I feel bad because I play all over and I can't remember names all the time. I remember faces more. So sometimes I feel really bad. Somebody comes up and they're like, how come you're not? Oh, Tyler, I missed you, man. I'm like, I don't remember your name. I remember you, but I don't remember your name. That happens to me a lot. But but yeah, that's just one of the things, and that I try to do around my music is to create a community around it, and like on a much higher level. Like you'd see that with like bands like the Grateful Dead and Jimmy Buffett and all that. I mean, they created this whole like family around their music, you know. And it's just wild to me. Like, you know, I see people like my buddy that's a lawyer. He's a big Jimmy Buffett fan. Well, I have some other friends that are big Jimmy Buffett fans too that he's never met. I got them together and acted like they've been friends for years just because of their love of Jimmy Buffett. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff that I like and
Right.
I want to see. And I wish more bands would do stuff like that. Because, you know, like my one buddy that plays, and he's at a higher level than I am because he's been doing it a lot longer. But he's not real good at the social media. And I'm like, anytime somebody responds to something on like my Facebook, I always go on there and say something back. I mean, I'll sit there she gets mad at me because we're trying to spend time together in the evening. And I'm like sitting there for 30, 40 minutes, like responding to all these
I'm like, are you
comments.
gonna watch this?
Yeah. And I'm like, I gotta respond to these comments.
I
Is
know
what I
too
do.
much about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's not only is it good business, but it's just good people skills and stuff. And
Yeah.
people will support you so much more if they feel included in what you're doing.
Yeah, I get that. We have a weird thing with the Jellyfish Manifesto and the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, we had one of our early guests did a lot of like T-shirts and stuff like that for Grateful Dead festivals and stuff. It was
Yeah, and
it
she
was
had
crazy.
like a
and then she had a
van,
really big van that she
all hand custom painted,
yeah, custom
like Grateful
painted to
Dead
have
stuff
Grateful
on
Dead,
it.
the bears and everything on it. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
But like it seems to be a reoccurring theme
Yeah.
with guests.
Yeah, because we've had painters that some of the paintings that they've sold have like Grateful Dead elements, and it's like, what's going on with the Grateful Dead in Ohio right now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, they had like such a with like the tie-dye stuff and the way they did everything. Like when you see a Grateful Dead T-shirt or a poster, so you could recognize it a mile away. I mean, they have their very authentic. It's like that's their style. You
They
know?
might have the best branding in music.
Oh yeah.
Because like that bear and everything, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
There's a
Yeah.
bear. Isn't there like a little like a skull type looking
Yeah.
thing too?
Yeah.
They have and like it's like as soon as you see it, I mean, it don't even have to say anything on it. You just know.
Yeah,
That
it's
is crazy.
crazy.
and,
how
and,
much-
and their fans, man. I mean, they got people that follow them everywhere and stuff. And you know, I thought it was kind of cool when they had John Mayer playing with them because it's totally different than like the stuff he does. And he nailed that stuff, man.
yeah, she
So
said most of the concerts, people like camp out for days and just hang out with each other before the show even starts. So that's
didn't
really
they
cool.
play at the Sphere in Las
think so.
Vegas?
Maybe.
I think they. I don't remember if they did. That thing is so cool. I've
Yeah.
never really had a desire to go to Las Vegas until I seen that thing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is cool.
I heard there's a lot of faults though.
Is there?
Yeah,
I mean-
because like since it's not LED screens, it's just lights. Like if a light has like a dead pixel, if you're in a certain spot, like that's all you can see. It's just like it's
Oh,
not.
man.
But like if you have like the good wide view, then everything looks fantastic.
I was gonna say
But-
they make it look fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I want to check this out. I'd be really mad though if I drove all the way out there, went to a show, and I was sitting where there was a dead light. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
But I heard sound wise, like there's not a bad seat in the whole entire place for sound.
Yeah,
So-
it just popped up actually on my social media last night when I was coming home, and I seen it was kind of funny. I was like, "That sounds like No Doubt," and I looked on her, and it was No Doubt. And I was like, "Well, I guess Gwen Stefani's solo career kind of went like this."
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear a woman approaching 50 singing about bananas or whatever, so she had to get back with the band.
My favorite thing about this sphere is they have like this. People say you can see through it to see like Vegas. It's just a video that they made for the inside of the sphere to look like the outside of the sphere.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So you can see all of the buildings and stuff around the sphere
That's
because
really
they have
cool.
a video that loops. So it's just a cool
And then I've
video.
seen that they have like too, like it wakes up every morning
Yeah.
and does the coffee and stuff at
Yeah.
6 a.m. That was cracking me up.
I like the little face that they put on it.
Yeah.
It's always looking in people's hotel windows and stuff. It's cool. I love it.
I heard it's also losing money though.
Oh, I'm sure. It's an
Like,
expensive video.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
want to go
it's-
to Vegas to see David Blaine. But
Everybody wants to go to
Go
the
out and check that.
Oh, yeah.
I love David Blaine.
Who was the one that Chris Angel just did the thing with Alice Cooper?
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
That
I
would've
saw
been
that.
cool.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. And then of course, like I'm like a Pawn Stars nerd. I watch Pawn Stars all the time, so I'd want to go in there and just check all that stuff out, just so I could say I've been there. You
Yeah,
know?
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I like watching those guys. But yeah, but other than that, like there's really not a lot out that way that really interests me.
Yeah.
And I travel a little bit. My biggest place I go is Tennessee. We go to Tennessee all the time. But I went to biggest disappointment for me going to Tennessee. We went to Nashville. And I hated it. We had a horrible time. Because unless you're like going bar hopping down there, because I'm not a big bar drinker and bar hop, it's just not my thing.
Right.
So we were just trying to check out some of the other stuff they had, and we just had a terrible time. And there's like drunk people and homeless people everywhere you went. Like,
So I lived in Tennessee, like an hour from Nashville, and everybody in Tennessee hates Nashville. Well, everybody
Yeah.
where I lived hates Nashville.
Yeah.
Traffic's always bad. There's a lot of homeless people. The one thing I do like is like they're not supposed to beg for any money, so they have to do something to make money. So there's a lot of street musicians out there.
Oh, yeah.
That are just trying to get off the
And-
street. And then there's a really cool newspaper in Nashville that they give newspapers to homeless people to just sell. The newspaper company doesn't make any money. It's all made off of like donations and stuff.
well, big thing for me is, and you see this a lot around here, is all these musicians touting themselves. They're like, oh, I'm a Nashville recording artist. That's really not a selling point for somebody like me that's in the business, because I know if you got enough money in your pocket, anybody, she could go down there not ever even playing a guitar and go down there and pay somebody to record her and say, hey, I'm a Nashville recording artist.
Right.
You know, it's not like this big rite of passage like people think it is. If you go down there and record a song and it takes off, then, you know, that's one thing. But there's great studios, I mean, all over Ohio and Indiana that can do just as good a job as what you get to go down there to Nashville and spend twice the money just because it's
Right.
Nashville. And then I know another guy went down there, and he's trying to make the rounds and stuff. He's making like 1/3 the money I'm making up here playing, because there's such a huge saturation of musicians trying to get these gigs. It's not like up here where, you know, like you go to where I'm at and you've got like a handful of really good competent musicians and everybody's trying to hire them. You go down to Nashville, you could, you know, just put a feeler out and you got 100 guys knocking on your door that can play and are really good and are trying to get this gig. So instead of making, you know, $300 or $400 a night like you would up here, because there's not as many musicians, you're down there, you know, you got to play 3 or 4 shows a day. I've had guys tell me they're playing 3 or 4 shows a day
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make that kind of money. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, it's crazy because sometimes you'll just be walking down the street in Nashville and you will see somebody playing music for tips that is the best musician you've ever
Oh,
seen.
yeah.
It's, yeah.
And it's like you take that guy and you like, hey man, if you go up around like Dayton, Columbus, the areas I play, Cleveland, Salina, you'd be making a fortune, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd be killing it, because there's not a ton of guys that can play that good. But down there in Nashville, that's where they all flock to. And I'm like,
I guess the only real advantage is you have a slightly higher percentage of a chance to meet someone that can take you.
yeah,
Yeah.
But my argument to that is like with social media now, if you flood social media with a ton of videos of your performances and stuff and the way people get tagged and share stuff, I mean, you could go viral out in the middle of nowhere.
That's true too. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's one of the things, because, you know, I thought about with with where I'm located, and me and Morgan had talked about it, and she's like, it's like you're in a perfect location because within 3 hours you can be in Detroit, Indianapolis, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Louisville, Kentucky. And she's like, you're right smack dab here in the middle where you can just, 3 or 4 hours be at any one of those to go play a show.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I kind of lucked into where I was born, I guess, because it works out really well that way.
I have heard that Detroit is the Rock City.
Yeah. Well, they have Sweetwater in Fort Wayne. Like, a lot of people ask me, I played in Fort Wayne. I've tried, but Sweetwater's there. And I don't know if you know what Sweetwater is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys order equipment from them. And, like, there's so many musicians that work for Sweetwater, and they play the Fort Wayne area. So they've got, like, this huge, amount of musicians up there. So I just kind of write Fort Wayne off. Because I'm like, they got so many people, and they can play for cheaper because they don't have to account for traveling expenses to go up there and stuff, especially now with $4 gas.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, that's one of the things why I kind of I write Fort Wayne off. I haven't been in Michigan. Last time I played Michigan was in the 2000s when I was playing with a band. But it's on my list this year. I've been doing Indiana and Ohio for the last 15 years, and I broke back into Kentucky this year. And we have a few interested venues in Illinois and Tennessee, but I'm just like so booked up right now. I have nothing
Right.
to offer until next year.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
No, it feels pretty good when somebody's like, hey, we'd love you to come play our venue, and I'm like, I wish I could, but I'm booked up until next year. But I will put you on my list, and I'll contact you in November when I start booking for 2027.
Right. Just like us, when like someone reaches out to be on the show and they're like, "Oh, how soon can we do this?" I'm like, "Well, we're looking at November." At this point.
It's a good feeling when you have a lot of people wanting to participate in what you're doing.
Right. Yeah,
So-
especially because we're trying to make a community and stuff out of it too. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Any last questions?
I don't. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say before anything to promote or anything?
Well, check me out on Spotify or YouTube or Pandora. YouTube pays me the best. So. But
So check him out on YouTube.
Check me out on YouTube. I have all my songs on there. I've got 8 songs released right now, and I have more on the way. And like and follow me on Facebook. I most of my social media is done through Facebook. I don't know why, but it just feels like the best, easiest platform. I don't quite understand the TikTok thing. I kind of got on there for a minute, and everybody's like, "Oh, you need to do TikTok," and I'm like, I don't get it. I feel like I can interact better with people on Facebook than on TikTok, and that's what I like about social media is the interaction. I don't like putting stuff on there and not getting a lot back from it.
Right.
And TikTok, it seemed like it was harder for me to do that. Like TikTok, I don't even know if people still do Instagram much. I don't hear much about it, but
I think it's doing okay. It's not doing as well as it used to, but it's doing okay.
and I keep getting mad at my Facebook because every time I go on there, they change something. I'm like, don't you guys do a MySpace on me and change your whole format and go away,
If they did that, that'd be crazy.
I know. That's what killed MySpace. MySpace was huge. Like,
Yeah.
everybody was on MySpace. And then they're like, oh, let's change the whole thing we've been doing. And I'm like, how much sense does it make that you're the most successful social media platform and then you're going to go in and just change the entire thing you're doing? I mean,
Right.
that made no sense, and it killed them.
Yeah, Facebook got lucky with that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, check me out on Facebook, and Tyler Stroh, Stroh, just like the old beer that nobody drinks anymore. Yeah. She don't have nothing to say.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. You know what you can do on YouTube. The like, subscribe,
so great
comment,
at
stuff like
this.
that. Show like your grandparents this video. We have to tell them to show other people,
Yeah.
Grandparents.
Yeah, the
Grand-
grandparents. specifically.
Grandparents
Yeah,
really like
grandparents
me.
specifically.
Well, then it works out. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.